Hi there, Kayong here, and welcome to this video. So, just last week itself, I did share with our community of traders not to touch Bitcoin when it actually broke its all-time high. But today, when we're looking at a chart again, it's actually the right time to be considering, and instead, I would say focus on Bitcoin because the next opportunity, if you're looking to buy, is here. Okay, and why am I saying, just 1 week ago not to buy into Bitcoin, just give it time and not touch it, but yet today we are talking about potentially getting involved in Bitcoin? To understand a bit more, make sure you watch this entire video because I'm going to include this little snippet of the session that we did. Okay, total there'll be two parts to it. The first part is to why we're not buying it, and the next part of this recording is today's session where we actually start looking and focusing on opportunities to get involved in Bitcoin itself. Okay, and of course, after you watch this video and you feel that this is something that is beneficial to you, able to give you some insights, would really appreciate if you can give this video a thumbs up. Okay, and of course, if you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do that because in the future when I release videos, you'll be the first one to be notified as well. Okay, so without further ado, I'm gonna show you the recording, okay, of this two session over here, and of course within this recordings, there are little golden nuggets that you can actually pick it up and apply in your trading journey and your trading strategy as well. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to show you the recording and let me know, okay, in the comments as well if you're actually looking to get involved in Bitcoin, perhaps after watching this video. So let's get into it. Crypto side of things, I think very interesting because Bitcoin kind of like broke the all-time high, right? But you realize what happened? Okay, it started to pull back a little bit. Okay, so we mentioned, right, just don't trade off immediately when it breaks a certain high. Okay, if you want to buy Bitcoin, I think the momentum is definitely to your upside. But if you want to buy Bitcoin, just wait for a decent flat. Okay, then only you get involved in that buy. Sometimes the flag can be pretty small. Okay, for example, this is not the best example because this is a running flag, which I won't advise or suggest you guys to trade. Sometimes the flag can be doing this as well. Okay, so you can see this is more like an expanding kind of regular flag, and then this is a flag. Okay, so wait for a scale, right? You can see I think not so much of the pattern in Bitcoin for now, but it's the scale. Okay, can you see the scale of it? Okay, so roughly they are more or less similar in scale, right? You can see roughly the time, the duration. That's what I meant, right? Roughly that. So if today you want to wait for a consolidation, wait for at least something like that. Yeah. So if we just do a very rough estimate, that will be about 28th of October. Okay, so you need to give it until maybe end of next week. Then only you come back and consider if you want to buy Bitcoin. Okay, so yeah, you realize what we're doing, right? Pattern recognition. Can you see this one here also roughly on the same scale? Okay, roughly on the same scale, all right? Let me pull that back in. Roughly, right? You can see that. Okay, so this this little template here seems to be a good scale, good duration to kind of time the consolidation, the correction for Bitcoin. Okay, because you see most of times after an impulse, it does this little consolidation, which is about there, right? Perfect, right? Somehow we have find a template here, we can just copy and paste. Okay, so I want you to see, okay, what we're doing here is that we're basically just looking at patterns, right? We always mention, right, different asset, different pairs in FX, different asset classes would have its own unique characteristics. Okay, and what I've done over here is basically we look at Bitcoin, okay, and we can identify, oh, okay, Bitcoin consolidation for the past few times, right? This is the duration of it. This is the scale of its correction, right? And that's the pattern, right? That's the characteristics of Bitcoin. Because if you go to other asset classes, this might be very, very different. Okay, it might be longer, it might be shorter. Okay, and essentially, I always say technical patterns is really about this, right? It's just about identifying some patterns that tends to repeat itself, and then the next time it happens, you capitalize on that. Right, so that's on Bitcoin, right? So I would suggest if you just duplicate this principle the earliest you look out for is somewhere around 28th of October. Yeah, 28th of October. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so other than that, crypto side of things, coming back to Bitcoin, right? I think those of you who are interested in Bitcoin, now is a better time. Okay, you still remember we talked about this? Okay, wait until end of the month, right? That will give you the clearer opportunity to talk about Bitcoin. So if you take a look at this, okay, you still remember we mentioned, right, how you actually can use some of the patterns over here to kind of guide you in terms of the duration of this correction, right? You can see most of the time it's somewhere around there. Okay, here as well, right? So if you map this, it's about there already. Okay, so and we do get a very, very nice pattern here. Okay, so if today you're looking at Bitcoin, okay, how to get involved? I mean, this one here, I'll definitely be interested to add in a position on Bitcoin. Okay, yeah, I'll probably talk about this. I'm probably gonna put in my order here later after this. Okay, this level. If you round out a bit, it's about 6,600. Okay, I'll be looking for the breakout. Okay, very, very decent flat. Okay, so very clear cut, right? Earlier part we talked about how you give it time, and then closer to the end of the month, which is where we are right now. Okay, and you have this. So very straightforward.